This is buyers finding you. This is prospects and opportunities finding you. I'm going to do the first thing, which is, I know what I want and I'm ready to buy. The last thing you want to do is complicate that. Like tell the customer, no, you don't really want to buy that. You want to buy this. Or do you know about this? Let me sort of, you got the yes, leave it at that. Now, if they're buying something that's completely wrong and it's not good for their business, I totally agree to question the buy. But let's make the assumption it's right. So I know what I want, I'm ready to buy. You want to make this frictionless, easy, combination of digital, maybe inside sales, maybe no touch, maybe all online. You could cover a majority of numbers of accounts that way. There's a very low risk they're not going to buy anything. Now, they may not buy with you, but they're going to buy something. Budget's approved. It might be a refresh cycle. I got 10 more employees. I need to sell 10 more desktops, or I need new printers, or I need my SaaS application. I have 10 more employees. I need 10 more of it. It's a very easy transaction. The next one is, I know what I want. I'm ready to buy, but I want to shop. And I'm going to shop on a few reasons. Price, consumption model. I have it on-prem today. I might want it in the cloud. Services. So I want sort of 24/7 support. You only give 5x8. And features. I'm really looking for these three things. I'm using you today. Do you now have those features, or should I consider someone else? But I'm in the shopping mode, and everything else in buying remains. It might be replacements and upgrades, the budget's allocated, et cetera. The risk here is that during their shopping process, they end up not choosing your brand. But in these two, you could say digital marketing, a lot of that external content, the influencers, everything your customers are saying about you in the market has huge implications in these two situations, where the customer has most of the power. Okay? The next two, this is buyers finding, or providers finding buyers. Actually, that should say providers finding buyers. So now it is, I have a business problem, but I didn't know it. So I'm a bank. It takes me 4 days to do loans. The guy down the street does it in 2 hours. I was at a dinner. He was telling me, oh, we're now doing loans in 2 hours. And all of a sudden, I'm like, geez, it takes me 4 days. Right? Or I'm having patients return in the hospital within 30 days, and my competitors are not having that experience anymore. So I didn't know I had a business problem. I'm unaware, which means I'm not looking. So I'm not actually consuming all that content you're putting out there. I'm not reading what the influencers are saying. I'm not talking to Gartner about it. I'm not doing those things because I'm not aware I have a business problem. That requires a very different sales cycle than the previous two. You could argue it's a little more challenger for those of you who are aware of what challenger selling is doing right now. So you have to really think about what kind of guy or girl would you need in going out and talking to a buyer that's unaware. The next one is I'm aware. I have a business problem. I know I have a business problem, but I don't know how to solve it. Once again, very different than the other two. So I would argue that you may say, well, I can't have 4 separate sales forces. I'm not going to have an unaware sales force and an aware sales force and a buying sales force and a sell. I get it. But we're talking about once you realize what the situation is with a particular customer, what is your response to them based on the content, the coverage model, the kind of sales skill, the way you engage with them, how you support them, how you upsell and cross-sell. All of those things go into your consideration. And so looking at it that way allows you to say, are we spending way too much money on shopping and buying and we're totally ignoring aware and unaware? Or do we only have our field focused on aware, unaware, and we're not paying attention to shopping and buying? And that's kind of low-hanging fruit for us. So it's really about just making sure that you take an opportunity to back up for a second and say, who are we going after from a total addressable market? What's the best way to cover them? What kind of skills do I need? What are the buyer situations, and how do I make sure that at the moment of truth, when a seller is in front of a buyer, either on the phone or physically, or even from an automation, from a digital perspective, am I giving them the best experience?